Imagine a supplement that has been studied by scientists for decades, a compound used by professional athletes and sports teams across the globe. Yet, despite being one of the most researched substances in human history, it remains surrounded by myths. People frequently mistake it for a dangerous steroid or a magical powder that constructs muscle out of thin air. Creatine is a naturally occurring compound. Before you ever take a single scoop of a supplement, your own liver, kidneys, and pancreas are already producing it and distributing it throughout your body. To understand why millions of people consume extra doses of something their body already makes, we have to look at a biological limitation. When you demand extreme, instant effort from your body, you immediately hit a physiological bottleneck. Creatine targets the body's natural inability to sustain explosive energy, providing the cellular bridge necessary for continued force. The moment you lift a heavy weight, jump, or break into a sprint, your muscles demand a massive, immediate supply of cellular energy. They need fuel at the exact moment of contraction. This is an ATP molecule, the primary energy currency of your cells. 3 attached phosphate groups mean this battery is fully charged. When your muscle contracts, it spends energy. ATP snaps off one phosphate group, downgrading into ADP, or adenosine diphosphate. The battery is drained. The human muscle tissue holds a very small amount of immediately available ATP. Within the first few seconds of peak physical output, these natural reserves are exhausted and power output drops. We are built to generate extreme physical force, but our cellular storage capacity is too small to sustain that force without a rapid response backup system. To navigate this energy crisis, the body relies on a biological workaround. Stored directly inside your muscle tissue is a phosphorylated form of creatine called phosphocreatine. A phosphocreatine molecule acts as an emergency energy reserve. It donates a spare phosphate group to the drained ADP, turning it back into fully charged ATP. Supplementing with creatine saturates the muscle, packing cells with phosphocreatine molecules to expand this recycling system. With that expanded capacity, the muscles can continuously regenerate immediate energy. When the body would normally fail at the 5-second mark, a saturated muscle can maintain its peak power output for those crucial extra seconds. Supplementation provides the raw material for a biological recycling engine, clearing the cellular bottleneck and delaying the onset of physical exhaustion. One of the first physical changes people notice when they start taking creatine is a sudden increase in overall body weight. In this cross-section of a muscle cell, we see the mechanism. Creatine actively draws water directly into the interior of the muscle tissue. The cell absorbs the water molecules, causing its internal volume to expand, a process known as intracellular water retention. This hydration occurs inside the muscle. It is not subcutaneous body fat or digestive bloating beneath the skin. The muscle simply becomes physically fuller. An initial upward spike in body weight after taking creatine is a biological marker of optimized cellular hydration. If creatine focuses on recycling cellular energy and pulling in water, how does that result in actual, tangible muscle mass over time? The result comes from a cascading effect. Because your muscle cells have a larger ATP reserve, you can push for one extra repetition or load a heavier weight onto the bar before reaching total failure. That prolonged intensity places a stronger physical stimulus on the muscle tissue, which forces a greater demand for biological repair. Over months of consistent training and recovery, the body answers that high-intensity environment by adapting. It thickens the muscle fibers to handle the increased load. Creatine provides the cellular energy required for the extreme physical work that triggers this long-term growth. This also addresses the fear of stopping the supplement. Because new tissue is built through physical adaptation, the muscle does not disappear when you stop taking creatine. As baseline creatine stores return to normal, you only lose the temporary intracellular water weight. The physical strength and structural muscle fibers remain intact. This bar chart compares standard blood levels against elevated markers seen after supplementation. When you take creatine, a predictable byproduct called creatinine rises in your blood. Because doctors use creatinine to gauge kidney health, this elevated marker is frequently misread as evidence of organ damage. A rise in this specific metabolic byproduct does not indicate an artificial danger to the kidneys. The massive demand for ATP extends beyond skeletal muscles to other critical tissues. Your brain demands a significant share of your daily energy. To process information and function, brain cells rely on their own internal creatine and phosphocreatine systems. Researchers are investigating how creatine supplementation might defend cognitive function when the brain is under extreme energy stress. During periods of sleep deprivation or intense mental fatigue, optimizing this energy reserve appears to assist the brain in maintaining its processing power. Creatine serves the energy recycling system that powers every cell, muscle, and thought in the body.